I need some money, and I need it right now.
Time to make some more money. Tom Luzzi is in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Mike Lonsborough. Tom, first game up that we have to do. And this week, let's just pick some winners. Let's don't go with the spread. Let's pick winners. Carolina, Atlanta, Dan Quinn and the Falcons have to be feeling a little gun shy and shocked. They have collapsed in the last part of a game twice. They got embarrassed by Green Bay. Thing is now, Panthers under Teddy Bridgewater coming off a big win over Arizona. Atlanta has to win in a shootout because their defense is just brutal. The Panthers are playing with house money, don't you think?
I'll tell you this about Atlanta, and I said it last week. The team that has the ball, if they get the ball last, they're going to win. And they're a high-scoring offense, Atlanta, but their defense is 31st in the league. Carolina ranks middle of the pack. They play a very sound brand of football. Atlanta's favored by 2.5 points, Mike, and they're at home. But you know what? They've got the worst defense in the league, and when you're the worst defense in the league, you know what usually happens. You get outscored, and I can see this being a Carolina win.
Indianapolis at Cleveland. The Colts defense, fantastic. They've only given up 14 points again, but they've got some injuries at linebacker. As far as the Browns, under coach Kevin Stefanski, everything is starting to come together. They're starting to play exciting football, and all those big weapons are starting to come into play. Even Baker Mayfield looks good. 39 points a game is their average, but do you trust them?
Well, here's the thing. Chubb, their starting running back, is out for 4 to 6 weeks. But they've got a better running back in Hunt. Hunt was the running back in Kansas City last year that got booted from the team.
Right.
Indianapolis has the number one defense in football. They're 3-1. Cleveland's 3-1. Both have good quarterbacks. Both have good running backs. I think it's going to come down to the defense. The Colts are giving 2 points, but that aside, just being even, I kind of like Cleveland in this game.
Okay. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. The NFC East is the worst division in football. Carson Wentz has looked bad sometimes. Last game he looked good and pulled a rabbit out of the hat. So many injuries, a bad offensive line. Pittsburgh, what a defense, and that pass rush. I don't think there's any escaping that. I can't see Philadelphia winning this one.
No. As a matter of fact, it's called, they renamed that conference the NFL Least. And there's 30-plus teams in the NFL, and I would tell you that there's probably 20 better teams in the NFL that are better than the top team, which is Philadelphia. Pittsburgh, Roethlisberger is having one hell of a season. He's got 2 dynamic wide receivers, but they've got a good defense. And you know what, Mike? Here's the thing that COVID has brought into play. It's the defense always gels a lot faster than the offense when it comes to preseason games and whatnot. So these teams that have those good athletes already have a good jump on the other teams. So I mean, Pittsburgh's giving up 7 points, and this should be a cakewalk for them.
Next up, Miami at San Francisco. The Niners with a lot of injuries. There are those people that believe the Niners season is lost. I'm not saying that. Garoppolo is a question mark. This might be a game, Tom, you might want to wait till Sunday before you bet on it because you want to know who's in, who's not. As far as the Dolphins, I don't trust them. You got Fitzpatrick. He can play great, and he can get hot, but he can get cold.
He plays the Fitzmagic, and then he plays the Fitzpatrick. And there's 2 different quarterbacks. They have absolutely no running game. They brought in Jordan Howard from the Eagles, who was with the Bears a couple of years ago. He's done nothing. They've got Gaskin, who is coming around, but they have 0 passing game. They have no defense. Did I say that they have no defense? Yeah, they've got no defense, period. But, you know, they're playing San Francisco, in San Francisco, so they're traveling east to west. San Francisco's hurt, but they've played well under their backup quarterback. I still think that in a must game, the San Francisco 49ers are a better team and they'll win it.
I disagree.
They're getting 9.
I disagree. That Mullins looked bad, and Garoppolo. I think they've won 2 games, Tom, and they beat 2 New York teams that have been mathematically eliminated. So I'm not jumping all over that bandwagon just yet. The one game I want to talk to you about, the last one, is the Sunday night game. Minnesota travels to Seattle. There's only one name we have to mention. That's the quarterback. As you know him, Russell Wilson, an MVP type of year. If he's on, the Vikings don't stand a chance. Plus, they don't play well in Seattle, but it might be different with no fans. But Russell Wilson is still going up against that depleted secondary. Not that Seattle has a good secondary, because they are awful, but Russell Wilson carries the team. Kirk Cousins and Jefferson and Thielen, with Cook running the ball, look impressive. But they've only got 1 win. I just don't think they've got enough, because Russell Wilson rules. And Kirk Cousins doesn't play well under the bright lights of Monday nights or Sunday night games.
You're playing the NFL's most valuable player this year in Wilson. He's just been phenomenal. And they've got a bunch of, I wouldn't say nobodies, but they've got a bunch of players that have all bought into the Pete Carroll system again. And they're not the Legion of Doom on defense. They're giving up points, but that offense is playing well, and they've got Wilson, who is clicking on all cylinders. Now the Vikings, they are not playing like the Minnesota Vikings of old. I mean, this Mike Zimmer, it's always been defense first. And their secondary is beat up. Their defensive line is beat up. Their linebackers are beat up. Parts of their offensive line are beat up. Cousins is healthy. He can get the ball. Getting rid of Diggs and bringing in Jefferson, right now I'd call that pretty even. They both look pretty good, don't they, in Buffalo and here. But with this game coming up, I don't even think Minnesota's even going to win the coin toss.
Well, I'll tell you the difference this year. And Russell Wilson they have a phrase in Seattle called "let Russell Wilson cook." And basically, they've taken the reins off him. And boy, I'll tell you what, he's pretty tough to contain when he's like that. Throws the best deep ball in football, I think. So this is going to be an interesting one for the Vikes. But Russell Wilson, in an MVP year, I don't think you can pick them not to lose. Or not to win, pardon me.
Well, I'll tell you something. Russell Wilson has given general managers a new view on going out and looking at the quarterbacks out of college. Yep. A 4th-round pick, right? Who wasn't expected to do anything, and look what he's turned into. Now they've got Murray here in Arizona, and they're not looking for those big Jamarcus Russell type quarterbacks. They need young people that can run and think, and Russell Wilson's got it all, and a good-looking wife too.
Yeah. Okay, Tom, thanks. And the one thing about all the quarterbacks now, they're making the drop-back passer obsolete in the NFL. They want mobile guys that can make things happen. Tommy, go make me some money, and we'll see you next week.
You got it.
Geo's Men's in Calgary, providing Calgarians to look their best.